Hello and welcome to the first Bookmakers TV Quickfire Draft. In each draft, we'll be drafting a team of somethings from the world of sports and betting in the form of a snake draft. If you're not familiar with those, the order of picks is flipped round by round. So first pick in the first round gets the last pick in the second round, and so on. The results of the draft will be posted in a Twitter poll, and the people can decide who had the best team. Today, we're drafting a team of all-time great Cheltenham horses, one for each of the festival's championship races. I'm joined by bookmakers.com racing heads Dermot Nolan, Dean Ryan, and James Stoddart. The random order has been set. Dermot, Dean, me, James, and the order in which you pick the horses is entirely up to you. Let's get to it. Dermot, you first pick. Who are you taking?
Yeah, first pick is not the easiest one because you're trying to get ahead of everyone. But one horse that I absolutely adored, the Black Airplane, Sprinter Sacre in the Champion Chase. Just thought he was an absolute monster and a machine. And I don't think there has been a 2-mile chaser that would have beaten him on that first time that he won. So Sprinter Sacre for me is an easy first choice of him.
First overall pick. All right, Dean, follow that.
Yeah, well, I'll change division. I'll go for the Champion Hurdle division for me, and I'll take Isterbrack, 1997 Sun Alliance winner, which is Ballymore, of course, now. And then 3 Champion Hurdles on the bounce, only robbed of a 4th by Foot and Mouth, of course. And then did come back for a swan song after that, but unfortunately just got a standing ovation that day. Didn't get the plaudits. I don't think in his pomp anything would live with him. Perhaps current company accepted, but I'm going to go with Isterbrack. Been there, done it. That's my pick.
It's pretty hard to argue. Right, so I'm next, and I think pretty much all of these divisions have their fair share of, you could argue over who the best of all time is in each division. There's one division that is not an argument. So I'm going for the Stayers Hurdle, and I am going for big bucks. So
nice.
Yeah, I can only imagine and assume that he was all of your Stayers Hurdle pick. So best of luck. James, you have the last pick in the first round and the first pick in the second round. So you're back-to-back picks here.
Ooh.
And you're muted.
James, bad start.
Muted there, James.
Oh yeah, sorry. Taking big bucks was a very clever pick. I was just trying to hide my disappointment in him going, but at least it's so clever. I'm willing to bet that it wasn't you thought to do it. My first pick, I'm going to take Constitution Hill. I think, and Dean said maybe current company accepted for Isterbrack. I think this may be the horse he was talking about.
Exactly what I meant. Yeah.
Such a good performance that he's favourite for the Arkle and the Champion Hurdle next year, which I think, if he could do the double, I wouldn't be betting against him. And for the second pick, I'm going to stick to the Stayers while there's some horses worth taking left in it. I take Barracuda. I think two-time winner. And probably, I think even though Big Bucks won it 4 times, I think Barracuda won it when the division was even stronger. There's a couple of more great horses around at that time. So maybe his 2 wins probably count for more than Big Bucks' 4.
Well, I disagree, but we'll let the people decide. Again, straight away with Big Bucks and Barracuda being on the Stayers Hurdle, what's left looks pretty thin. So I'm pretty happy to have got the pick there. I am going to take the first Gold Cup horse in the draft, my favorite horse of all time, and I am going with Kauto Star. Obviously 2-time winner, absolute legend. He is my Gold Cup horse. And Dean, you're up next.
Okay, Stayers Hurdle's at a premium now, isn't it? And I might just steal a bit of thunder here and go with a horse that probably would only have been mentioned by someone else in this panel. So I'm going to steal it, which is going to put him in a bad position. So I'm going to go with Thistlecrack, who won a Stayers Hurdle. It's kind of what he did afterwards that put him in a great pomp. If he'd have stuck to the Stayers, you'd imagine he would have won another one. But age wasn't on his side, so they went chasing and picked up a King George in fantastic fashion. Unfortunately, maybe didn't reach the heights it should have done. But that Stayers Hurdle performance is one of the best you'll ever see. The horse in second, I think, was Alpha de Zoba, who I could not see being beaten, and was beaten by a better horse. Thistlecrack will do.
Okay, so Dermot, you're the only one without a Stayers Hurdle pick. You do have back-to-back picks here. The last pick in the second round, first pick in the third round. Who are you going for?
Yeah, so I get the Gold Cup and the Stayers hurdle away. First of all, the Stayers, English Dreamer is probably the only other kind of horse that knocked up a sequence in this. 3 out of 4. It was only My Way to Solzan who stopped them from doing the 4-timer as well. So this division there, it's a bit of a sham really that you can knock up a few because it's full of bad chasers and horses without other options. So a very, very good horse can knock up a sequence, as we've seen throughout the history of it. So without another viable option, English Dreamer there. And then in the Gold Cup, this was like a Blur and Oasis type argument always between Cato and Denman, and I'd say I'm definitely on the Blur side of it with Denman. He's just a superstar, really is, really was. And that famous day when Sam Thomas rode them all into the floor and Cato Starr couldn't catch him either. So I'd say Denman and his top weight performance in the Hennessy, etc. He was just a truly great horse. And if I was given the option of owning Cato Starr and Denman at him, I'd pick Denman. That's
fair enough. I mean, for me, it's more of a Beatles versus band playing in your local pub argument. That's entirely up to you. Dean, you've got your champion hurdler, staying hurdler picked. What's next?
Yeah, so Gold Cup and Champion Chase for me, but I'll obviously only go with one of them now. I'm torn for the Gold Cup between Best Mate and Desert Orchid. I think if you want to sign your death knell, and I can't win this if I pick Best Mate, because I don't think he ever got the love he properly deserved, even though he did win 3 Gold Cups on the bounce and was second in Supreme. Just campaigned in a way that perhaps didn't give him the pure love he should have got. One horse you can't argue that with is Desert Orchid, who won the Gold Cup in 1989, was second in a Champion Chase, was third in 2 other Gold Cups, an absolute legend, carried massive weights in big handicaps. But we're talking about Cheltenham. The Gold Cup he won at Cheltenham is what got me into horse racing. I think a lot of people, I would imagine, of my vintage anyway. And I go with Desert Orchid. He's hard to argue.
Yeah, that is pretty hard to argue against Desert Orchid. I am going to go Champion Chase next. For me, there's a couple there. Sprinter Sacco would have been a very obvious one for me, but he obviously is long gone in the draft. I've already got big bucks in Cato Starr. May as well keep the team going. I'm going to go Masterminded. Basically just building a Paul Nicholls stable, but he's one of the visually most impressive Champion Chase winners I can remember seeing. Bit of a no-brainer there. A couple of Irish horses that I could have picked, but I'm happy to take him for the Champion Chase. And then it's on to James with his, again, back-to-back picks with his Champion Chase and Gold Cup horses to go.
Yeah, got those 2 races left. I think we could be accused of recency bias a little bit here at the moment, but so I'm going to take a couple of horses that only raced in black and white. So I'm going to take Arkle for the Gold Cup and Champion Chase. I'm going to take Flying Bolt. Can't really argue with the 2 highest rated steeplechasers of all time, really. Both of these could give anything new racing a stone and still win according to time form. Unfortunately, they never got to race each other due to injury because Flying Bolt obviously retired at 7. Effectively retired at 7. Ted Walsh said Flying Bolt would have eaten Arkle if he'd raced, which I don't know. I think that might result in a disqualification, but it's good enough for me anyway. So I'm taking
under the current whip rules. That would be bad.
Yeah, definitely. You bit him above the shoulder, I think he'd be banned. But so I'm going to take Flying Bolt in the Champion Chase and Arkle in the Gold Cup.
Okay, so that leaves me with my champion hurdle horse. For me, in order, it probably would have been Istabrac 1, Constitution Hill 2, the rest 3. I am going to be a little bit shameless here, and I just want to win the Twitter poll. So I am going with something that I do not believe, but I'm going to say it. Honeysuckle, welcome to my stable, is the greatest champion hurdler of all time.
Oh my God.
She shouldn't have lasted this long. Get in there, Honeysuckle.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Dean, if you have a more sentimental pick than that, for what you have left is the Champion Chase.
I thought it was really clever going for the vintage vote, right? Because we're going to be voting on our stables, and I'm thinking I'll pick a few oldies in there. I got a certain demographic on my side, but then James gone and stolen that. Now you've taken Honeysuckle. Yeah, I've got Desert Orchid running for me, but so I have a dilemma here in the Champion Chase because everyone knows I love Altior, but I might stick vintage and go with Viking Flagship, who ran at 6 festivals. think third in county hurdle in 92. I think that because I've written it down, but his champion chase record was 1-1-2-1-5 and 73 runs under rules, 24 wins, and a time when the division was absolutely mentally good in terms of what you might consider out or raced against. So yeah, I would have loved to have seen them stitch off against each other. They'll go with Viking flagship.
Fair enough. And 1-1-2-1-5, probably the amount of years ago it was that he was running. So best of luck winning a Twitter poll with that.
James is in more trouble.
Grand,
right.
And last pick of the draft, round out your team. Dermot, off you go.
Ruby Walsh always says that a good horse is a sound horse, and there wasn't, after a fairly injury-prone start to his career, there wasn't a more sound horse in running brilliantly all the time than Hurricane Fly. A horse that his detractors have, mostly from over the Irish Sea, say that he didn't handle Cheltenham, but that to me makes him winning two champion hurdles in between, losing one, 1-1, lost one, 1-1 again, even more impressive. So for 22 grade ones, Hurricane Fly for me is probably just behind Easterback, really in truth, and Constitution Hill will probably go on, but Hurricane Fly, for what he did, definitely deserves to be in the conversation. So happy to stick Hurricane Fly in here.
Has to be on somebody's list, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Getting him with the very last pick as well, like it's got to be value. Yeah, so I mean that's it. The teams are set. They're shown right here on the screen. Head over to @bookmakers on Twitter. Let us know which stable you think is the best. Make sure you like and subscribe right here on YouTube if you want to see more of these. Let us know in the comments if there's anyone that you think should have been drafted that wasn't, or anything that you'd like to see us drafted next. Until then, all the best.